Not only did I have a girlfriend in prison, I had multiple girlfriends over those 19 years, though not at the same time. I wasn't being a scumbag. But what I found is that people are looking for emotional intimacy. Some people are looking for physical intimacy or for a partnership or for some other aspect. But for those people looking for emotional intimacy, there is no better partner than someone who's incarcerated. Because in there we have all the time and all the energy in the world and nothing to do with it. So we can lavish it on one person. We can write poems for them every day, write letters for them every day, talk on the phone every day. We can talk for hours and hours. We can figure out a way to make them the center of our lives. Now, ultimately, that's not healthy. And when I look back, so many of those relationships actually created bad habits and bad expectations and bad hopes for me because they weren't realistic. Nobody out in the world lives like that. Even if they could, it wouldn't be a healthy thing. I don't want to live in an enmeshed relationship, but that was all I knew for all those years inside. So it was a struggle to adjust after getting out. Because Courtney and I had been together while I was inside for 6 months, but we never even met in person. So as I'm thrust into the world with an hour and a half's notice and all of a sudden we're spending all this time together, things are dramatically different. And I remember a couple months out, she sat me down and she said, Jesse, I would never wish you back in prison, but I miss what we had. What we had was meeting my needs, and what we're doing now doesn't feel the same. We actually talked about it recently. It really was like two relationships. We had the relationship before I got out, and then we had the relationship after I got out. And then, of course, the relationship ended, and we've been navigating being friends and trying to figure out all that. But what it makes me realize is that context and environment determine so much about a relationship. I've seen so many relationships that worked on the street, but as soon as the person got locked up, it fell apart. And that seems to make sense, right? Because they basically abandoned their family or abandoned the person they loved. But I've also seen relationships that worked really well and seemed really healthy while the person was incarcerated. And as soon as they got out, it fell apart. And that isn't everybody. I've seen relationships last from getting out. People who got married, who were pen pals, who were childhood sweethearts, who got married and are doing very well now that they're out. We've even seen a couple people who married staff members after they got out because they had this illicit relationship that either led to them getting fired or they just kind of kept it on the down low until they got out. So it's possible, but it's such a different dynamic. And unless people really take that into account, they're not prepared for all the challenges.